Hi everyone. Welcome to this video that's going to talk to you about Major Project 3, the multi-genre campaign. The purpose of this video is to give you a brief introduction into the assignment and to review the tasks that you're going to need to complete to be successful with this assignment. Make sure that you, after you watch this video, that you take a good amount of time to review the assignment sheet and to pose any questions that you might have about the assignment. First, I want to back us up and let's look at the big picture for a minute. Remember that each of our major projects in this class are building on one another. So Major Project 1, you completed an investigative essay that identified a discourse community and that encouraged you to investigate that, to explore that discourse community. In Major Project 2, you identified an issue or a pressing concern in your discourse community, and you analyzed how your discourse community is responding to that issue. In this particular project, Major Project 3, you are actually going to engage in the conversation. You're going to join it, and you're going to make an argument, take a stand, and do that through a multi-genre campaign. You'll compose 3 new genre compositions, and your whole goal is to convince your audience to take action of some kind. I do want to quickly say that this project looks very different than our first 2 essays. We are not writing a traditional academic essay for this project. This is a multi-genre or multimedia campaign. So you'll actually be composing in various different genres that could include anything from a podcast to a social media account to a YouTube video. It could also be something tangible like a t-shirt or an art installation. You have lots of options, and I do just want to emphasize though that this is not a traditional academic essay. This particular project will be multimedia and multimodal in nature. So I want to also remind you that the goals of this is really, we've been learning about these concepts of genre and rhetorical situation, and now you're going to engage in those things. You're going to put that into practice. You've analyzed how other people respond to rhetorical situations and how other people compose in genres, but now you're going to do it for yourself. You're going to practice composing while paying attention to rhetorical situation and while being mindful of the genres that you're choosing. So it's a really exciting project. It's kind of our chance to apply everything that we've been learning over the last few weeks. So let's look at the tasks that you're going to complete. The first thing that you want to do is take a stance and develop your argument. This asks you to identify a topic or issue that's relevant to your discourse community. I would highly encourage you to go ahead and continue on with the topic or issue that you identified in Major Project 2. It's going to make your work a lot less for this project. So just go ahead, if you feel comfortable and confident, move forward with that argument from Major Project 2 or the issue that you addressed in Major Project 2. And now you're going to decide what argument do you want to make regarding that topic or that issue. So that's your first step, is to identify that argument. The second thing that you want to do is identify your audiences. You want to decide what audiences would or should respond to your argument. For this particular project, you need to address at least 2 unique audiences. And I want to emphasize here, y'all, it is really, really helpful for your process as a composer to be very specific and to choose audiences that are really concrete, that are really real as you're making these decisions. So I want to give a quick example. Let's say that I want to convince someone the issue that I've discovered in my discourse community is that not a lot of people are familiar with the field of rhetoric and composition. So I want to raise awareness that this is a great grad program and that it can be a really effective program for pursuing future goals. So one of my audiences, I might start out saying, well, I should really talk to like all the English majors about this. Like every English major in the United States needs to know about this. That is way too broad. Yes, they may generally be my audience, but I want to be a lot more specific. So I'm going to hone in and say, okay, I think every English major at Florida State University needs to hear about this. That's better. But I actually think I can get more specific than that. This particular concentration for a graduate program would be really, really applicable for students that are studying editing, writing, and media at Florida State University. So I'm going to say that I actually want to communicate with the editing, writing, and media English majors at Florida State University. So that is my more specific and concrete audience. And that is going to make everything that I do from this point out so much easier. So walk through that process of narrowing for both of the unique audiences that you choose, okay? Task number 3 asks you to actually decide the 3 genres that are going to be most effective for reaching your chosen audiences. You have full agency in these decisions, but remember that you should always be looking back to your audience and to your purpose when you're making these choices. So if I was doing this for the editing, writing, and media major, I may look and see if they have a Facebook page or an Instagram handle or any kind of social media that they're using. Or maybe it would be better for me to create a podcast that I could distribute to them, or a flyer that could be hung in the Williams building at FSU. So again, these are all just, I'm going back to my audience and to my and to my purpose to sort of hone in on these genres. You're going to write a project proposal that answers the following questions, and essentially you're just going to tell me what you figured out as you completed tasks 1 through 3. So you're going to tell me your audiences, your argument, the 3 genres you plan to compose in, and why you think those genres will be effective. Then you're going to go about actually creating your composition in 3 genres. You will complete 1 artifact in each genre that you've chosen. So I've given you a list here of genres. There's really endless options, which I know can feel frustrating. Remember to always look back to your purpose and to your audience to help guide these things. But I do just want to emphasize that you are creating 1 artifact for each genre. So let's say that you decide that you are going to do a podcast. You need to actually create an episode of that podcast. If you are wanting to create a hashtag movement, if I wanted to create a hashtag RecComp at FSU hashtag or something for my particular graduate program, I would need to actually post things with that hashtag or create a social media account that's using those hashtags. So this is just something to keep in mind. If you're doing an art project, you need to actually create a piece of art. So you're going to create an artifact, 1 artifact in each genre that you've chosen. So at the end of this project, you will have 3 distinct artifacts. Each artifact will be in a different genre. For task number 6 is arguably the most important part of this project. You're going to write or record a rhetorical rationale. This rhetorical rationale is your opportunity to explain the choices that you've made when composing in each genre and how you view those choices as effective. This is really where a lot of your grade comes in for this project and it also gives me as a reader and anyone else viewing your project really important context. So you're going to use this as your chance to really walk us through what you did and why you did it. The final task is to actually submit your multi-genre campaign. The multi-genre campaign are these 2 pieces, the composition in 3 genres, so your 3 artifacts, and the rhetorical rationale. Those will come together to be 1 cohesive unit on a page in your ePortfolio, and you will submit that page. That will be your final submission for this major project 3. So it's a really important thing. You want that to feel really cohesive, like your rhetorical rationale is helping your reader to understand what they're viewing when they look at your multi-genre campaign. Finally, let's look quickly at the grading, the criterion formatting. This is, again, a very non-traditional sort of project, and so you will likely not have many opportunities for in-text citations or a works cited page. Only if you decide to compose in a more traditional academic genre will you need those things. So you just want to adhere to the conventions for that particular genre. So that means that you may need to think through what you're composing in and how people. So a good way to think about this is if you say that you're creating a series of memes about your topic, I should be able to look at it and know that it's a meme and not just a picture off the internet. Does that make sense? So we talked about this a little bit, but that's that importance of adhering to the genre conventions. And that's really your formatting guideline for this project, is to adhere to the genre conventions. The evaluation criteria, this project makes up 20% of your grade. You'll see here that the project moves pretty quickly. We assign it on Sunday, or the first task is due Sunday, July 19th, and then the final project is due Thursday, July 23rd. We're quickly approaching the end of the semester, so you just want to make sure that you're mindful of the time that you're spending and how you're engaging in these particular tasks. And that is really our overview of Major Project 3. I love this project. I hope that you all will have so much fun with this. It's one of my most favorite projects that we do of the year. It's actually probably my favorite. So I'm very excited to see what you do. Now go back to our week 4 overview and continue reading through your tasks and assignments for this week. And as always, please reach out if you have any questions or concerns at all. Thanks so much, y'all. Good luck.